So I just got done fixing the valve cover gasket on this thing because it got messed up when I shoehorned this in here. I thought I'd take a minute to do an overview of what I've done and what it took to do it. But anyone who's pretty much done a DT360 swap with one of these post 98 Super Duties, I haven't seen them keep the mechanical fan. They just opt for electrics. I wanted to actually tow and use this thing for heavy hauling, so I kept the mechanical fan. And in order to do that, I had to raise the radiator up about 4 or 5 inches, and you know, that's just the little stands it sits on, hockey puck isolators. No! I raised the intercooler up with it, transmission coolers in the factory location. What else was there? Firewall had to be cut, and let's see, so it had to be cut, and roughly about a 2.5 inch like little doghouse had to be made to cover the engine. Both my batteries are relocated onto the driver's side, and then my air filter, I got it where one of the battery locations used to be, and then homemade, I guess you would call them water covers. I've just got a bag that my ratchet straps came in when I bought them, and coated it in camp dry. Let's see, the dipstick tube for the transmission, I just got a buddy to bend me a piece of conduit because he does control wiring. He had some scraps, so I just had him bend me a piece and put that in there. The turbo is an S360 that I got off of eBay for pretty cheap. It was a unit that just didn't pass quality control. I mean, it don't even have Borg Warner's name on it anywhere. It's got a Borg Warner part number. And then I did a P-pump swap, and this is a 185 horse, I believe is what this was, or at least it's what the guy claimed. None of the stickers or anything were on it, so I didn't even get to know what's fully on this thing. And then I've got power driven diesel 055 delivery valves. I've got their AFC live kit hooked up, fuel plate delete. When I bought this pump, it didn't have a foot in it, so I bought one of the power driven foots already, and then I had to custom make throttle linkage, because I don't know what the hell is up with Dodge throttle linkage for these things, but that's way too much money. That's absolutely stupid. Fuel pump is a FAS 160, one of their titanium series. And honestly, if you're trying to decide the difference between AirDog and FAS, they're the same damn thing. Just go with whatever you can get a good deal on. You know, the only thing I didn't like about the FAS units is you couldn't drain the water out of their water separator filters on the newer units, but I just swapped them out for some Wix ones that you could. And then for this one, I didn't want to retain the factory instrument cluster because, let's be completely honest, Ford instrument clusters suck. They don't really give you any viable information. But I mean, I just got a glow shift 3-in-1. Those are both auto meter units, the tach and speedometer in one, and then the 4 essentials, you know, volts, water, fuel. Let's see, and then the drive shaft had to be shortened. Some of the lettering actually from when I wrote it on there for what I needed the guy to do, but it had to be shortened 3 inches. I just did the front half, kept the factory back half the same. And then it is 4-wheel drive, NP272, and then that is a 4R100. I had it built up by a local transmission shop. Billet torque converter, actually, I don't know what brake clutches they should put in there. It's been like 3 years I've had this thing sitting around for that long. Shift kit, John Wood, valve body. And then, let's see, what else we got here? Yeah, and then, so I've got a Carson Stauffer oil filter relocation shoved right here in between the transmission and the frame rail. And that's the 7.3 Power Stroke style fuel filter. Then my exhaust runs in between the outside of the truck and the frame rail underneath, and I've got it coming between the cab and the frame rail up front to just come out here to a cherry bomb with a 5-inch tip. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, yeah. It's where I got the fast pump sitting. You know, I got one for a second gen Cummins truck. You know, the bracketry was a little different, so I had to fabricate some stuff, but other than that, it goes right in right where you would normally put one of these for these trucks if you kept the Power Stroke. Tire's a little low. That's cool. Now the other thing with these trucks is, in order for you to actually fit the engine in here at the level it needs to, you gotta have at the very least a 2.5-inch leveling kit, which is what I have here. It's just a rough country system. Stock ride height, you'll never clear it, because I had to notch the cross member. Yeah, no, you'll never clear it, unless you do a full custom one. Mine, I just notched it or cut out the middle section and then braced it in between with 2 pieces of 2-inch pipe. And then 2-wheel drive units, to be honest, I don't know what you gotta do. I don't even think it would be entirely possible unless you did a whole F350 2-wheel drive axle swap. I mean, I guess that wouldn't be too bad. It should all just bolt together for the most part. I didn't have to relocate the steering box. It's pretty much sitting right where it has always. What else do we got here? I'm trying to remember everything I did. But I mean, I've been daily driving this thing for a month now. I've got 1,500 miles put on it and not a single problem out of it so far. I did, though, like the second day of me daily driving this thing, my cap cover on the side of the pump decided it didn't want to be there anymore, so I lost my timing pin too, and I ended up just throwing a M18 by 1.5 oil pan drain plug in it. Oh, what else do we got that I've done? And I think that's just about it. You know, I'm sure you've noticed I don't have the front drive shaft yet. That has to be lengthened, or you need to get a long one custom made. I'm thinking, well, I did find out you can actually go for a 98 to 2003, I believe, is what it was. Yeah, but if you get a drive shaft out of an extended cab short bed Super Duty, the flange and the U-joint are the exact same as what you need for the front drive shaft. So if you find one of those, you can have it shortened to what you need. which is what I'm gonna do eventually. I just haven't done it yet. And then other than having to cut a hole in the hood to clear everything, you know, I haven't made a hood scoop for this thing yet to cover everything up. I mean, other than that, it runs great, runs powerful. I'm really happy with how it came out. You know, let's see, trying to think what else we got here. Oh, I mean, I did make a custom serpentine belt for this, if it's even visible. I can't really see my screen all that well, but you know, that's an alternator off a 6.0 Power Stroke that I made a bracket for. That plate is actually stainless. No one has to use that, it's just what I had laying around. And then that is a tensioner pulley off of an 03, I believe, International 3600 with a DT360. Those are both 466 pulleys, water pump and the crank pulley. Crank pulley needed a spacer. I can't remember how thick it needed to be, but I had a buddy make that for me. And then my tack adapter is a swap helper kit. Transmission controller I'm using is a US Shift Quick 2. I mean, that does everything I need. I don't plan on racing this thing, so I didn't need any of the extra racing features that the Quick 4 offered. Yeah, I guess one thing. So back in there, you can see where my downpipe I've got wrap on, and then I've got it come in between the frame rail and the cab. There's a bracket, like a metal bracket that comes off the cab back in here, and it braces to somewhere over here. I don't quite remember. It was actually like a little support for the wheel cover, but I just cut that out and sent it through. Came up and went through. And you know, I got a Power Master starter for a 7.3 Power Stroke. Not really a whole lot, you know, it's just time consuming. I did all this pretty much in my backyard. I can't even say as a shade tree mechanic, I didn't even have a shady tree. It was just hauling on it every single weekend. Probably, I mean, I started this back in October, and it was roadworthy towards the end of February this year. You know. I mean, that's really about it, you know. AC system, I don't really care for cold air. That's what windows are for. I mean, this thing has 4 of them that I can open up. So I mean, I've just got it blocked off with duct tape. Well, let me be more specific, duct butyl tape. You know, the stuff that has that sticky silicone in it. You know, fills up the gaps where the AC coil was. And then in the dash, everything fit. The whole dash fit back in place with the doghouse. The only thing that had to be changed was, and yeah, I mean, I can't even really show it. I didn't take any pictures of it, but what was I saying? Oh, the factory AC box, or I guess the ductwork that's in there, I couldn't keep. I ended up probably, I mean, let's see, how visible is it? I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not really all that visible, but the box, you know, right about here in the dash, I just cut it off flush, put a block plate on it, and put a 3-inch tap out of it. And I routed some flex duct up and around, and that's where I feed just the defrost vents, because that's really all I've ever used and really all I need. Flows plenty of air, keeps the truck nice and warm in the winter. But I mean, that's it. Not really. I think I covered just about anything. There is, well, anything special that I've had to do for this in regards to the DT360. I mean, if you want to keep the mechanical fan like I did, you got to cut the firewall, got to raise the radiator, or I mean, if you really want to go all out, you can custom make some brackets to lower the fan more towards the center of the engine. I didn't feel like doing that. I didn't have a problem cutting the hood. And then, you know, shorten the drive shaft. I don't know what other people have done in the past for it. But I mean, drivability, I mean, it doesn't obstruct any view. It's not that bad at all. And I think that's just about it. That's about what all I've done. You know, this is going to be a tow rig. I built it for a purpose. I have full intentions on this thing doing everything I need for the rest of my life.